Hello, my name is Olivia Baker, and today I'm going to talk about whether helmet technology can prevent diffuse axonal injury during concussive events. But before I get to the helmets, let me first discuss what concussions are and why they're dangerous. Concussions are a form of traumatic brain injury caused by rapid acceleration, or in some cases deceleration, of the head. During a concussive event, it is not the head hitting against the skull that causes damage, but rather a combination of linear and rotational acceleration that causes rapid stretching of white matter axons. Under normal conditions, axons can stretch to almost twice their resting length without a problem. But under conditions of massive acceleration, they fail very easily in tension and in shear, causing what is known as diffuse axonal injury. As you can see in these images taken within the first few hours after the concussive event, some of the microtubules are broken, but a few remain intact. Over the next few hours, further swelling of the axon causes some of the remaining microtubules to break. As the swelling begins to go down in images C and D, the broken microtubules are degraded, and this is the main cause of the symptoms we associate with concussions, like memory loss, confusion, loss of consciousness, etc. That being said, how do helmets address this issue? Well, currently, helmets seek to decrease injury by decreasing the impact duration through 3 energy-absorbing liners. And as it turns out, this works very well for dealing with linear acceleration, but not so great for rotational acceleration. That's because standards for helmets these days are still heavily based on the 1970s Wayne State tolerance curve that predicts the incidence of skull fracture based on linear acceleration and impact duration. The thought process behind this is that skull fracture is an indication of moderate to severe concussion. The National Operating Committee on Standards for Athletic Equipment, NOCSA, the group that sets the standards for helmet technology in most contact collegiate sports, uses Severity Index, SI, as its standard, which is a more recent iteration of the Wayne State tolerance curve, and similarly only accounts for linear acceleration as measured at different points on the head. As a result, skull fractures have been pretty much eliminated from helmeted contact sports. However, concussions remain an issue. Going forward, new standards for helmets may be adapted, one such standard being Head Impact Power, HIP, which is a more recent model for determining concussions that is beginning to gain attention in the world of helmet technology and takes into account both linear and rotational acceleration. Using a combination of NFL field data and recreations of impact situations in the lab, HIP calculations have been able to fairly accurately predict the instance of concussions. Comparison studies that look at SI and HIP suggest that any impact above SI equals 600 will cause a concussion if the form of acceleration is not purely linear. NOCSA's pass-fail standard for helmets is currently SI equals 1200. Future helmet technology standards could be moving to HIP as a standard for safety. But what is being done to deal with rotational acceleration in helmet design? Well, to begin with, future helmets may no longer be one-size-fits-all. They'll be designed with geometries set to fit different head types. Half of the battle in preventing a concussion is wearing the helmet properly and making sure it is snugly on your head. Secondly, the use of nonlinear anisotropic materials will be helpful in that those materials would be better equipped to stretch in multiple directions rather than favoring one. An example is shown in the video here, where you can see that the helmet on the left is more willing to stretch in multiple directions, diffusing the energy more evenly across the helmet. This would help expand the effectiveness of helmets to cover more real-world scenarios. And that's all. Does anybody have any questions?